Hello my dears, welcome to my Egyptian Oriental online education again, and today we proceed to learning more of Egyptian hip movements, and these will be difficult and complicated hip movements of Egyptian technique. In this class we are going to learn several modern Egyptian hip movements, and you can use them in your combinations and choreographies. So let's start with the first one, and this hip movement is based on our hip drop. It's the same like the hip drop, but we will put the weight of our body to our right leg and we'll start to make a hip drop here. So what do I need? I need my knee again, so my knee will be pushing forward. Please check one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's why your muscles around your knees must be very strong to protect your knee and to be able to push with control forward. So first of all, what you have to do is to practice just with the knee and without the hip. Doom, 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 doom. Not with the weak knee, but tak, control your knee. 1, 2, 3, 4. After this, slowly you start practicing your hip down. So it's not a Suherzaki movement, please don't confuse, it's a hip drop. So it's the same hip drop as you are making like this, and the same hip drop, down, 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 and down. Now we will combine the strong movement of our knee and the hip drop down. First, in a soft way. 1, 2, 3, 4. So as soon as my knee is going forward, my hip is going down. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let me show you from the back the same. Please check my knee. 1, 2, 3, 4. Use your hip down. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, in a soft way. So this was the soft way, and later we will need a strong and contracted hip technique. Now guys, we have to make this movement stronger with hip muscles and pushing strong with our knee. So what does it mean? We stay here again and I push with my knee with muscle contraction. So I control my knee. 1, 2, 3, 4, like I have some limit in the front. Push and release, push, release. So I contract my muscles around my knee. And about my hip, I'm making my hip not in a soft way like this, not soft, but I want to make like a hip drop. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I contract a little bit my muscle here, but not too much, not complete contraction, just a little bit to make a good and clear hip drop. So now let's go on and speak about the mistakes which people can make while doing this movement. These mistakes will give you a very clear view and understanding how not to do this movement and which mistakes you can make. So first of all, when you stay here, your knee must go forward. So if your leg is straight, you will never be able to make this movement. Please look, if your knee is straight, you will not be able to move your hip. So this is mistake number 1. That's why your knee must be pushing forward. Let me show you from the back one more time. So your knee is pushing forward, just now in a soft way. 1, and together with my knee, I'm pushing my hip down. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if your knee is straight, you will never be able to move your hip down, and you will not be able to move your hips anywhere. So this is really important. Guys, the second mistake is when people confuse the hip drop with Suherzaki movement. So they start to do not the hip drop, but they start to do a Suherzaki movement just with their hips up and down, with their both hips up and down like this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Instead of making 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let me show you the same movement from the back. So look, if you confuse it with Suherzaki, first of all, your legs are straight and you are moving your hips like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. You are moving your hips equally. But me, in this movement, I'm doing totally different. I'm here, the weight of my body is here. This part doesn't work completely. So I'm doing it only on my leg, on the right leg. And I'm not doing Suherzaki like this, but I'm making a hip drop. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We continue and we go on to the third mistake, which is when people are pushing their hip up. So please, look, we stay like this and people confuse and they start doing like this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Instead of doing 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let me show you again from the back so you can see clear. So the confusion is like this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the correct movement is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So guys, please pay attention that this part of my body doesn't work. It doesn't move. I only need this leg to support my body. So I'm making all of the movement here. I'm not pushing it here. I'm not using my side. I'm not using my left knee. So all what I'm doing is using just this part of my body. I divide my body into two parts and I will work just with this part. So please look again. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So guys, ladies, to understand this movement, you need to understand also the basic principle of this movement. The first one is that our leg is not straight, it's soft, because in Egyptian technique, we never have our legs completely straight. Please remember about this. So your leg is soft here, and the weight of your body is here, and actually you don't need this part. You don't need this part of your body. You can even lift your leg like this and continue making your hip drop. So here, like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, or lift your leg, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's check this movement from the back. 5, 6, 7, go down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lift your leg. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And lift your leg. 5, 6, 7, and 8. So for this kind of movement, your muscles around your knee must be very strong, because otherwise you will get tired and you will just move like this and you will not be able to control your hip. You will start going here, you will be tired, you will not contract any muscles, and also this hip muscle is very, very important as well, because you contract it a little bit and all of your power and all of your effort is going just in one side, and after this all your power and effort, like a hip drop, is going to another side. Let's go on and make another variety of this hip movement. We are going to twist our hip just a little bit front and back, and we are going to make 2 hip drops instead of 1. So we are doing this one here. 1 and twist, 2, twist. 1, twist, 2, twist. Let me show you from the back. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Push with your knee. 7 and 8. So guys, please pay attention when you make this hip movement. Of course, this hip is jumping just a little bit, but it's not going up or side. No. Because you are pushing this hip strong, of course you will have the reflection here, but it's not moving with the other side. Remember that we are working only with one side of our hip. Let's continue with our variety of this hip movement. And now we are going to add some shimmy inside of this hip technique. So first we are going forward, down. With the twist we are going with shimmy and back again. Twist front with shimmy, down. Twist back with shimmy, down. Let's check from the back. 3, 4. Front, shimmy, back, shimmy, front, shimmy, back, shimmy. So when you make the shimmy, of course you are working with both of your knees and both of your thighs and legs and hip bones in the twist. But my advice for you is to make shimmy in this side more intensely. So your right leg will be working a little bit more intense to show shimmy in this part of your hip. One more time. And doom, and tack, and doom, and tack. Let's check another side. Put the weight of your body here. And accent, shimmy back, accent, shimmy front, accent, shimmy back, accent, shimmy front. Let's take one more variety of this hip movement for our next combination. So I'm going to do my accent tuck here, tuck back, tuck here, and shimmy back. And again, 1, 2, 3, shimmy front, tuck, 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 shimmy back. Let me show you from the back. 3, 4. Accent, 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 shimmy back, accent, 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 shimmy front, accent, 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 shimmy back, accent, 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 shimmy front. Okay guys, now let's go on and study a new combination based on the hip movements which we have already learned. So first we will start with the basic one. Down, 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 change. Down, 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 change. Here we will start 3 times down, front, side, a little bit back. 1, 2, 3, change. 1, 2, 3, and change. Now we continue and we will do the same 3 times, but forward, back, and forward. Down, 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 change. Front, back, front, change. We continue and we will make just a basic hip up, step, 3 and 4, step. And from here we start our complicated movement. Down, 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 shimmy back, down, 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 shimmy front, down, 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 shimmy back, down, 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 change your side and do the same thing here. Front, front, shimmy back, tuck, 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 shimmy front, tuck, 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 shimmy back, tuck, 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 shimmy front. Let's check the same combination with the back. So we start with the basic one. Down, 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 change, push, down, down, change. Here we do 3 times. Front, side, back, change. Front, side, back, change. Here we do the same 3 times, but just front, back, front, tuck, 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 and change. It looks like a little bit like arch. Doom, 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 and change. We go on with our simple hip accent. Up with muscle contraction here, and we continue the last one. Accent, 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 shimmy back, accent, 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 shimmy front, accent, 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 shimmy back, accent, 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 and change the weight of your body. 1, 2, 3, shimmy back. 1, 2, 3, shimmy front. 1, 2, 3, shimmy back. 1, 2, 3, and shimmy front. Guys, let's continue with our complicated hip movements. And now I'm going to teach you the difficult hip movement number 2. So it's based on our modern Egyptian Suherzaki movement, which I have been teaching to you in one of my educational videos before. So it looks like this: 1 step, step, 1 step, step, 1 step, step, 1 step, step. So we are going to use just one time from one side and second time from this side, like this: 1, 2. So guys, I want to remind you about the accent and muscle contraction. So as soon as my right knee is going back, I contract my right muscle and I make my hip down. And to make my hip down, I help with this part to push my right hip down. My right knee is going back, muscle contraction is here. 1. So if you want to change and do it with the left hip, the same rules apply here. So you are here. The legs are a little bit straight, but not completely straight. They are soft, but not sit down, okay? So you stand up, your knees are soft, and you are going to push with your knee back and back. So as soon as I push with my knee back, your hip is going down and I contract my muscle here. And I will help with this part to push my left hip down. Rak, tak, and tak, and tak. So we are going to make one side, 1. Muscle contraction is here. Tak, muscle contraction is here. So please guys, if you want to understand in details how to make these hip movements and to practice it very well, please watch one of my educational videos about this kind of movement, which I called Modern Suherzaki Egyptian Hip Technique. Now what we are going to do is to make this hip technique a little bit more complicated, different, and creative. So we are going up here and we push our hip down, as I told you before, and this hip you are going to push up. So how to push this hip up? You make accent up with your knees, but you're not standing down on your heels, you are up on your toes, and you are doing the same. So again, my knee pushing back, 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 back. Please make your hip up. Up, here, up, here, up, here, up, here. Let me show you from the back. So we move our hip down. I'm standing on my toes, and this hip I'm pushing up. This hip I'm pushing down. My hip is up. I put it down like this and push it up. So let me show you from the front again. Let's take this hip and make it down, down. So now your left hip is up, correct? So you are making it soft, down, and push hard with accent track. Contract your muscle here. After this, your hip is prepared up. You push it down again. You make a preparation down and you push your right hip up and contract your muscle here. Let's check from the back again to make it more clear for you. 3, 4. Stand up. 1. Muscle contraction is here. Make a soft preparation and push your hip up, muscle contraction in the left. 1. Muscle contraction here. Make preparation, put your hip down and push with your knee, tuck up and contract your muscle here. Let's continue and make this movement in a faster tempo. So it looks like this: down, up, right down, left up, left down, right up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let's check from the back. 5, 6, going up, right down, left down, right up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let's go on and make this movement around our circle. So first let's start 4 times here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And guys, let's go on around our circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Let's go on, and I will teach you the third movement for today. I will call it figure 8 with one hip. So we are going to take the horizontal movement of figure 8. Guys, you know the figure 8, simple one, and the reverse one, back one. So here I'm working with both of my hips, right? So now I'm going to take just one hip. I divide my body into two parts and I separate my joints. I will not work with this part. I will work only with this side of my body and with the right joint. So I'm going to make the half of figure 8, half. Not like this, but only here, 1 and 1. And I'm going to work with my hip, 1 and 1. So what I have to do, of course, I will need my knee to help me to move my hip. I will show you with my knees open. So look, if you make your legs straight, you are not going to have this movement. It will look just like this, okay? So what I do, of course, I help with my knee movement to move my hip. 1 and go back. 1, go back. 1, go back. 1, go back. So, of course, my left hip is moving just a little bit like this, like a reflection of my right hip movement, yes? But please don't confuse and don't make it here. I'm working only with one joint of my body. So, the first mistake which people can make is when they make their knees and legs completely straight and they cannot move. They start to do like this and their hips cannot move because their legs are straight. So what you have to do is to relax your knees and you have to move in a soft way. You help your hip with your knee. And the second mistake is when people start to push their figure 8 here as well, like 1 and 1 and 1 and, or here. So no, you divide your bodies, please separate this part and work just with one joint. 1, 2, your knee, look, when your hip is going forward, your knee is front. When your hip is going back, your knee is a little bit straight, but not completely straight. 1, 2, 1, 2, work with your joint. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Let me show you from the back as well. So we are here. Don't make your knees straight. So don't make your legs straight. You need to help with your knee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Your head is not jumping because it's about your knee and about your hip movement. So it's not about your head jumping here, okay? And don't work with this part of your body. 3, 4. Your knee is forward, your knee is back. Your knee is forward, your knee is back. 1 and 2. Please draw a circle like half of figure 8, like a raindrop here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Let's check other side. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And guys, the third mistake which people can make if they start lifting their heel up like this. 1. No. This is a horizontal movement. It's not a vertical movement. It's not figure 8 like we have been studying before in one of my educational lessons. So it's the different one. Your heel is down and it's a horizontal movement. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So please don't lift your heel. Change. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, from the back. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, change. Help with your knee. let's go on and let's continue with another variety of this hip movement. It's going to be super interesting and just a little bit difficult, but I'm going to explain step by step for you. So guys, we were doing this one, and now what we have to do is to add the accent to our soft movement. So it looks like this: 1 and 2, tuck, and I contract my muscle here. 1, the first half of figure 8, the second half, and as soon as you go here, you push your hip and you contract your muscle here. So let's check from the back. 3, 4. 1 and 2, tuck. 1 and 2, tuck. Check the other leg. 1 and 2, accent. Please don't go like this here. Just push your hip and control with your muscle. 1 and 2, tuck. 1 and 2, tuck. So now we are going to make it even more complicated, and we are going to add a shimmy layer to our hip movement. So we start from here and we are making it with shimmy front. 1 and soft, tuck, accent. Shimmy. When you make shimmy, don't forget you use both legs for making shimmy, both knees. 1, 2, 3, tuck. 1, 2, 3, tuck. Don't forget, try to work only with this joint. So don't try to go like this. Don't try to make shimmy everywhere. No, 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 no. You are working just with one hip. 1, 2, 3, and accent. So you make shimmy front, here soft, and here, and accent with muscle contraction, checking from the back. Shimmy starts here. 1, go back, soft, here, and push, muscle contraction. 1 and 2, rack. 1 and 2, rack. Checking the other side. 1, we start with shimmy. Please go forward here to this side with shimmy. 1 and 2, tuck, come back. 1 and soft, come back. 1 and soft, come back. 1 and soft, come back. I have prepared a very cute and interesting combination for you based on all of these movements which we have learned in this class. So we will start here and we will move our hip down front, down back, down front, and we change the weight of our body with shimmy. Here the same. 1 down, back, front, change the weight of our body here, and we continue with our 3 sides accents. 1, 2, 3, change the weight with shimmy. 1, 2, 3, change the weight of our body with shimmy. Now we continue with our soft hip movement, the half of figure 8, and 1 and 2, hip accent, the same. 1 and 2, hip accent. Change the weight of your body and work with this side. 1 and 2, hip accent. 1 and 2, hip accent. And we go on with our accent. Front, back, front, shimmy back. Front, back, front, shimmy back. And here, back, front, back, and change the weight of your body with shimmy. Front, back, front, shimmy back, down here, down here, down here, and change the weight of your body with shimmy. We continue with our modern Egyptian Suherzaki movement, which we have modified into other movement. 1, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and we go around the circle with the same hip movement. Start. 1, up, down, up, down, up, down, and up. So guys, the last movement, which we make 5, 6, 7. So this 8, I'm not doing 8. Instead of up, I'm doing my heels down 8, and I continue my half of figure 8, but I will put 2 shimmy layers on the top and double accent to the side. 1 and 2, rack, rack. Again, 5, 6, 7, rack, rack. change here. 1, 2, 3, accent, accent with muscle contraction. 1, 2, 3, tac, tac, here. And after this, down your heels and double turn. Let's do the same hip combination from the back and front, accent, back, front, and shimmy, change the weight of your body. Here, 1, 2, 3, change the weight of your body here. Now we will make front, side, and back accent, front, side, back, and change again with shimmy, front, side, back, change it with shimmy. We continue with our soft hip movement, half of figure 8, 1 and 2, accent, muscle contraction, 1 and 2, accent. Change here, 1 and 2, accent, 1 and 2, accent. After this, we continue with our shimmy layer, 1 front, 1 back, 1 front, and twist your shimmy back. Here, back, front, back, and change the weight of your body here. Front, back, front, twist with shimmy, back, front, back, change the weight of your body here. We continue with our modern Egyptian Suherzaki hip movement. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. We continue around the circle and down, up, up, 5, 6, 7, and instead of 8, I'm going down with my heels, 8, and I will continue with half of figure 8 with shimmy layers, 1 and 2, rak, rak, double here, 1, 2, 3, rak, rak, change here, 1, 2, 3, rak, rak, 1, 2, 3, rak, rak, and down the heels, and we make double turn. My dears, thank you so much for putting your time and effort for studying with me. I really appreciate all of your attention, and I really hope you enjoyed today's class with difficult Egyptian hip technique. And I have a very good news for you, because I have prepared new technique, and all of the rest difficult Egyptian hip technique you can see in my video part number 2.